So we're in Fresno, California. We just finished installing a Moen posi temp valve, and I can't remember, got that, probably supplyhouse.com. We're out of Ferguson, one or the other, but anyways, before we get going, I want to document the floor. So this was all demoed back. This is the existing bathroom. The floor is already in. I guess they're painting cabinets, putting on new hardware, faucets, things like that. But anyways, when they demo this back, you can see along here, chipping on the plank there, a little chipping on the plank there, a little chipping on the plank there, and then of course this one is loose, out of place. And we need to document that because in the past, when you have multiple trades in there, floor gets damaged and then everybody's pointing fingers. So that's not us. That happens when you're trying to get, this shower was demoed out. That's a brand new bench, by the way, and then everything else, was tiled in at some point. And so I'm sure they'll take care of that. That one there's just a little tiny piece. So I'm sure they got some of these planks left over, but that's not the scope of our work. We do need to document that. Moving over here, we did the other bathroom, and it was galvanized iron pipe coming in. So we brought all the fittings for that. Got out here, and of course, you can see it's copper stubbed up. So I know it's a raised wood floor. Underneath somewhere they made a transition, at least right here. I don't know about the rest of the house, but we did the bath and the shower in the other bathroom, and it was all iron pipe. So copper here, no big deal. Fortunately, we brought some Uponor tubing, and of course we brought our box of PEX fittings. So what we had to do is we took the old valve out, which is sitting, there's part of it, and where's the other? There it is. So it's the old fixture valve stubbed out of there. So we just took everything off, put some adapters right onto those fittings. Now these are not ours. These copper fittings right there and right there, those were already soldered on there because that is what was screwed on. So this is what was screwed on originally. We had to cut this off, by the way, because this nut was stuck. But this is what was screwed on, okay? So all of that to say, those aren't our adapters, so we don't warrant those. But the adapter here, that's the Uponor adapter that goes from threaded connection to the plastic tubing. So just adapter there. And by the way, these are much more expensive than the galvanized iron pipe, so we really wish that there would have been some communication about the difference in here. But we're going to honor our price, and not charge anymore. These are about at least double the price, these fittings. So you got a couple of 90s there, those brass threaded 90s that turn down. And then PEX is cheap. The rings, the pipe, cheap, so no big deal. And then a brass plug right here because it's a shower only. And that's nice because when you put a galvanized plug in there, it just sits in there and rusts. And then occasionally when you turn the shower on, you get a little bit of rust out. So pure copper to plastic. I don't know what's below the floor again, but that's not our scope of work. So plastic through a brass valve, brass plug, and another brass adapter, and then just a riser going up. And that's Uponor tubing as well, up to Uponor. Used to be called Wurzbo. It's easier to say, but Uponor tubing. So Uponor drop ear 90, and that's fastened. That's like a 2-inch screw on top, 2.5-inch screws on the sides. Those are heavy-duty construction screws. The only thing I would mention here is, please, when your tile guy's in here, don't bump this around. If you hammer this, you're trying to put something in and you hit it real hard. You pop one of the screws, it's going to be loose in the wall. We don't cover, user error or other trades, damaging the installation that we have. But you can see this guy, it's not moving, and that's all that you need. So just be mindful of that. I've talked to the tile guy, and it seems like he's been in the trades, many years, and so he's probably mindful of that. But we do need to document that. Just be careful of this stuff. So, anyways, this mounted block 2.5-inch screws. You can see toenail 1, 2, 3, 4, and those, like I say, those are 2.5-inch screws. These guys down here, 2.5-inch screws from the back side on both sides, and this, honestly, all you're doing here, you're just mounting the valve, and then you just you're keeping it from pulling forward as you mount the trim plate once you get to finish. So that's good. Anyways, water's turned on right now. What we're going to do is right now the valve is closed, so what we're going to do is turn the water on so that water can fill this and pressurize this portion so that we know there's no leaking in this tubing before we leave. And outside of that, this installation is done.